Okay, so Sāriputta, he's with the cultivation of this attainment, he confirms that there is an escape beyond this, and the escape beyond this is the third jhāna. And so now to move from the second jhāna to the third jhāna, what the meditator does after gaining facility in the second jhāna, he looks into the second jhāna, and he sees that even though it's more peaceful in the first jhāna, but there's still something. You say that there's still a little troublemaker in the back of the room. What is the little troublemaker in this case? Right, rapture or piti or joy. Because this factor of piti involves some subtle kind of exuberance, or it could spill over into a kind of exuberance or exhilaration, and it becomes like an object of attachment. And so since the meditator has now this map of the stages, he'll know that there is a meditative attainment more peaceful, more excellent than the second jhāna, in which rapture vanishes. And that is the third jhāna. And so he'll practice aspiring to the third jhāna, strengthening his concentration, and when the mental faculties are sufficiently strong, then he moves into the third jhāna. And so here we have the formula for the third jhāna. The Buddha says, again, with the fading away as well of rapture, Sāriputta abided in equanimity and mindful and fully aware, but with clear comprehension. Still feeling pleasure with the body, he entered upon and abided in the third jhāna, on account of which the noble ones announce or declare, he has a pleasant abiding, who has equanimity and is mindful. Okay, so in terms of the usual sort of standard list of jhāna factors, in moving to the third jhāna, we've lost vitakka, vichara, and now piti is gone, but we still have sukha or pleasure and one-pointedness of mind. But the sutta formula mentions another bunch of factors that become prominent in the third jhāna. And so we have here three factors which are now given distinct mention. One of these is equanimity, which we saw is already present in the first and second jhāna, but now it's becoming so prominent that it gains mention in its own right. And then the second factor is now mindfulness, again present all through, but now it becomes more prominent. And the third factor is indicated by the word fully aware, and this is, in Pali, this is sampajanya, or the adjective form is sampajano, which the word sampajano comes from, it's related to the word for knowing. The verb that means to know is jhānati, and sam and pa are prefixes which are intended to indicate some aspects of this knowing. So it's, here we could call it like a clear knowing or a clear understanding. But it's not yet the kind of knowing or understanding that comes from panya, what we call wisdom. But this is sort of a clarity, maybe we call it the power of clear observation. And again, this will be a quality which is present all through the process of developing meditation and in the lower jhanas. Since, for example, when one is practicing, say if one is practicing mindfulness of breathing, then distracting thoughts arise, then one becomes aware distracting thoughts have arisen. So that knowing that distracting thought has arisen, that is, we could say that is one of the functions of sampajanya, clear comprehension. So mindfulness, you could say, is the factor which the awareness itself, this gets a little confusion. How to put this, distinguish them. Okay, a distracting thought has arisen. So mindfulness is what brings that distracting thought to the mind, that which enables one to be aware that the distracting thought has arisen. Then clear comprehension would be, say, what designates it a distracting thought, or which understands that this thought is a distracting thought. So mindfulness makes the thought present to awareness, and then clear comprehension understands it as a distraction. Does that make the distinction clear? To some extent. Okay, so now the third jhana, there's equanimity, mindfulness, full awareness or clear comprehension, and still feeling pleasure with the body. So the pleasant feeling is still present. So he enters and dwells in the third jhana. Okay, so now Sāriputta, having entered that state, now he contemplates the factors present in it. And so now the text will enumerate the various factors that are present. So it mentions equanimity, pleasure, mindfulness, the full awareness, and the unification of mind, then the 5 factors beginning with contact, and then the other factors, zeal, decision, energy, mindfulness, equanimity, and attention. And then these states are defined by him individually, distinctly, then they're known as they arise, as they remain present, as they vanish. Okay, we'll move on, and then I'll take questions after we go through a few other states. Okay, now we come to the fourth jhana. Now to move from the third jhana to the fourth jhana, the meditator first masters the third jhana, then he looks into the third jhana and sees that there's still a little imperfection in the third jhana, that there's still maybe like a hair in the soup, so to speak. And what is that hair in the soup in this case? Right, it's sukha. It's the pleasant feeling. Of course, normally we all like pleasant feeling. But the pleasant feeling is somehow connected, even at a very subtle level, with some attachment. And so it's a little disturbing to the perfect tranquility of the mind. And distinct from pleasant feeling, there's another kind of feeling which is called the dukkhamasukha vedana, which means the feeling which is neither pleasant nor painful. This is a neutral feeling which is completely quiet and peaceful. And that feeling is what arises in beyond the third jhana, in the fourth jhana. And so the meditator is now aware that there is that neutral feeling, and so he aspires to that neutral feeling. He contemplates the fault of pleasant feeling in the third jhana, continues to meditate, and when the mind, the concentration becomes strong enough, then he moves into the fourth jhana. And so here we have the formula for the fourth jhana. Again, monks, with the abandoning of pleasure and pain, and with the previous disappearance of joy and grief, Sāriputta entered and abided in the fourth jhana, which has neither pain nor pleasure. That's that neutral feeling, and which has purity of mindfulness due to equanimity. So here in the fourth jhana, the mindfulness becomes fully ripened, fully purified, and this purification of mindfulness comes about because of the equanimity. So it's said that, I think in some of the commentaries, that in the third jhana, we would say the mindfulness is like the full moon on a night which is very clear, but there's still a little bit of haze in the sky. So even though you could see the full moon, it's not like our ordinary mind, which is like the full moon on a night with stormy rain clouds, where you just occasionally get the impression of the moon. But in the third jhana, it's like the full moon is like, in the third jhana, it's like the full moon on this night where it's like 90% clear, just 10% little haze, which is occasionally obscuring the clarity of the moon. But on a real like winter night, like middle of January, where the sky is completely clear and it's the full moon, then the moon is so bright and brilliant, and you could see it, just shining and illuminating. Like if you come out on a full moon night like that, and you look at the lake, everything, it's almost you could take a book out and read a book. The moon is so bright. So this is like the mindfulness in the fourth jhana. Okay, so now Sāriputta contemplates the factors in the fourth jhana, and here we have some differences introduced. So he sees the equanimity, the neither painful nor pleasant feeling, and now this is, the neither painful nor pleasant feeling is new. And now here we have something that's new introduced, and this is called the mental unconcern due to tranquility. So now, or maybe better than mental unconcern, the mental effortlessness due to tranquility. Because the mind has become so tranquil that no further effort seems needed to maintain the mind in that state. Okay, then there's the purity of mindfulness and the unification of mind. So those are the factors, except for the mental unconcern. The other factors are mentioned in the formula for the fourth jhana. Then we have the 5, beginning with contact. Then we have the other factors, zeal, decision, and so forth. So these are defined by him one by one as they occurred, known they arise, known they were present, known they disappeared, and so forth. Okay, so here in the fourth jhana,